Dive boots. Well, they're not the most sexy piece of dive gear you could get, but let's face it, we all really need them. Unless, of course, you're diving full foot fins, but seriously, who's doing that nowadays? Hey everybody, Torben here from DIVEIN, the place where we test and review dive gear to help you make better decisions when looking at what to get for your next dive. Today we're walking through dive boots and everything you should consider when buying a new pair of dive boots. And even though they are so unsexy and quite simple, there are still a few things that you need to consider to make sure you make the right choice when looking for dive boots. So today we're going to look at sizes, shapes, and we're going to look at what kind of diving needs that will justify what kind of diving boots to get. So let's dive in. Divers, adventurers, and especially dive pros, get ready. DIVEIN Show 2025 is coming to Orlando November 11 to 14. It's the one event where the entire diving industry comes together, showcasing the latest gear, cutting-edge technology, exciting travel destinations, and world-class training. This is the place for everybody working in the diving industry to connect, share ideas, and discover new opportunities. It's where our community meets to push the industry forward. Don't miss it, DIVEIN Show 2025, November 11 to 14 at the Orange County Convention Center in Orlando, Florida. Early bird registration ends October 13. Register now at divinshow.com. All right, let's talk about dive boots. These are the three shapes, I would say. They come in a variety of different shapes, but these are high cuts with hard soles, low cuts. This one's hard sole, but it comes with soft sole, and then a high cut soft sole. Of course, there's different features, and we'll go through this. So what are the advantages of a low cut? Well, this one is simpler. It doesn't become as warm on your feet, and they are much more flexible. They don't have too many zippers. They don't have too much fuss. It's simple, put them on, put your fins on, then you're off to diving. They work really well in tropical holiday types of diving where you're on a dive boat, you put them on, then you're good to go. Again, often these comes as a soft sole that will look like this. I'll come on into that. But they also comes as hard soles, working better for tropical shore diving as well, or rocky shore diving. Now, in terms of the hard soles or the high dive boots, they look like this. So you can see the neoprene is covering higher up on the dive boot, giving you better insulation. This one will actually reach all the way up to a long wetsuit, so it will give you better protection from the water. And you can also close this one around the wetsuit, or even better, put the wetsuit around the dive boot, giving you much better insulation, not that much water moving in and out, so you just have a warmer dive, really. These comes in a 3, 5, or 7 millimeter versions. I think some of the brands do an 8 millimeter version as well, but don't quote me on that. In terms of the insulation of it, of course, 7 millimeters is warmer, 3 millimeters is colder. Match your wetsuit to the thickness of your dive boot. So if you're diving a 3 millimeter long wetsuit, then go for a pair of 3 millimeter boots. If you're diving a 7 mil, then go for a 7 mil boot, of course. If you're diving tropical waters, you can do the shorties, but you can actually also dive the long boots. Now, in terms of features of them or soles, let's start with that. This is a hard sole. It gives a lot of extra grip and a lot of extra protection. The downside of a hard sole is, of course, they are a lot less flexible. You can see they bend here in the middle, but they don't bend as much. On the other hand, we have a flexible sole. These bend so well, and you don't really feel like this. Is more like a neoprene sock with a bit of extra protection than it actually is a boot. The good thing about this is the flexibility of it. It feels simpler on the feet. The con of this is if you're doing a lot of shore diving or walking out on rocky areas, you'll feel a lot more abrasion going through these boots. You can live with it. To be honest, I've been diving rocky beaches with types of these boots for a lot of years. Been diving tropical diving with a hard sole dive boot as well, and I don't really feel the difference as soon as I'm in the water. So it really depends on where you're walking out. And if it's just occasionally rock, shore diving, you can still use these, where of course, if you're doing that on every dive, you'll prefer the hard soles. There's a bunch of other features on dive boots. They are not as simple. Of course, there's some protective extra layers of it. So we have the neoprene that protects against the cold, and then you have extra protection on some boots. This one has extra protection here at the front where you would be kicking things. And it also has on the top side of the foot where the fin will close in. So this is protected so you don't get, so of course the neoprene doesn't get worn down quickly here, but also so it protects your feet a bit extra because that is an abrasive point the fins are touching in. On the heel cap as well, you have this extra ridges here. This is not for protection, but for keeping the fin strap in place so it doesn't slide down under the boot and falls off. And then you have this cap here as well that will give extra protection to your foot, but also to the boot in terms of abrasion. The long boots comes with a zipper And then some of these comes with an extra Velcro flap to keep the zipper in place so it doesn't fall down. Simpler boots doesn't always come with that, just has the zipper. And that's it. Again, depends on what you like. Of course, there's a price difference as well in boots. You can get simple boots really cheap. You can get extra good boots. It gives you extra installation. This has the OmniRed infrared technology on the inside, same as some of the bare wetsuits. It gives extra heat. I will say I prefer it. But if you're not looking for that, if you're just looking for a simple pair of boots, you don't really need that. In terms of sizing, look through the sizing charts of it before you buy it or try them on. You would rather do a larger dive boot than a smaller one of obvious reasons. You don't want too small on your feet because that will just rub and it will hurt your feet, especially when they're wet and in the water. You don't want rubs because that will just turn into sores. But do find the size that fits as good as possible. If you're doing especially the long boots, you don't want to have to put on socks underneath. That will just make it cumbersome. So rather do a dive boot that fits you as it should. Depending on the boot and the sizing, of course, if you can see here, the sizes do vary a bit. If you do a hard sole and a thick neoprene suit, they will take up a bit larger size. You need to make sure that your boot fits within your fins. In terms of maintenance, that is actually quite simple. Once you're done using them, wash them out really well, and then most importantly, dry them out. I've come to pick up a pair of dive boots weeks after been out for diving, and someone just left them standing like this, and they were wet and smelly on the inside because in here, in the middle of this, there's not a lot of air movement coming out. So when you want to dry them out, open them up all the way. If you can flip out the ends so you have a bit more air coming out, or place them on a heater or a warm surface. Of course, not so warm that it will melt the neoprene or the rubber, but somewhere nice and warm to keep it that moist coming out. If you have a pair of ski boots, heaters or anything like that, that will keep some air circulation down there. That will work even better. If you don't, just make sure they are in a nice warm place. Don't put them in direct sunlight, although every dive center does that and they still have working dive boots, but sunlight will put wear and tear on the neoprene and on the boots, of course, same like all the other dive gear. What do you do if you are in that choice where you are diving a lot of cold water, you're diving a lot of warm water? Well, best solution would be to buy two pairs. Buy a travel-friendly dive boot for when you're diving tropical, and then buy a nice warm boot when you're diving your cold water or mid-water temperature diving. That would be the ideal scenario. They won't break your bank when you're buying dive gear anyway, so most dive boots aren't that expensive. And of course you can do a much more simple when you're diving tropical than you can when you're diving in the cold water. That's my take on it at least. But if you are only to pick one, I would always go for the larger boot, and then I don't mind diving a too warm feet. My feet don't get that warm when I'm diving, or at least I don't feel that. If I'm diving a shorty, I can still dive a 7mm boot. I've done that plenty of times without feeling sweaty when I come up because you're still in water. All right, that was all we had to cover for this video of dive boots. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions to dive boots, drop them down below in the comments.